We are here to do your weekly reading. I'm going to pick an oracle card just because I love this deck. I really do. You have to bear with me because I don't know all of them by heart, but we're going to learn it. Let's see what you get. So for my Aquariuses, what do we got? Who are you going to get? The Observer. Okay, so that's the theme overall, I think, for this week's reading. Just a second. Okay, so it says that the essential meanings are perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. So that is somehow the overall theme of this week for you. Let's see what we get with the tarot. Let's see what you got going on here. So obviously you are meant to watch something from afar this week so that you better know how to react or what you're going to do, I suppose. Let's see. Okay, this one's for my Aquariuses. Alrighty. Observer. Okay, what you got? You're opening with the Chariot, okay? Followed by the Hermit. And in the challenge position, I have Judgment. Well, definitely a very pivotal time for you in general. This is actually your backstory or your recent past going into this reading. Chariot, the Hermit, and then Judgment in the challenge position. So at this point, you're in Hermit mode, which I know is Virgo's card, but to me it almost seems like an Aquarius card because y'all seem to pull your energy back quite often to watch the world go by, I feel like. With the Chariot, you could be dealing with a Cancer or a Virgo. But this feels like you are very much so pulling your energy back right now because things were moving too fast. I feel like things in your little world suddenly began to move far too fast for your comfort. And so you have opted to pull your energy back in a situation so that you can sit back for a minute and reassess everything. Maybe that's why we got Observer to start, huh? Okay, so like I said, this is your backstory. The Judgment being in the challenge makes me feel that you are fearful of judgment. At this point, I think you're almost fearful of judgment that you seem to be passing on yourself. Are you judging yourself, Aquarius? Is that what we're doing here? Let's see. So in the current, I have Strength, the Eight of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Well, Eight of Swords in the center kind of sums up most things, huh? That's you being stuck in your head. You're overthinking a situation to be certain. Where it's time to just let something flow, possibly you are stopping everything up because you're overthinking anything and everything that has to do with this particular dynamic. The Strength card in the front, so you're feeling weak or you're feeling as though your strength is being threatened in some way. I think your normal has been threatened possibly by something that looks quite beautiful maybe, right? Maybe we have something wonderful coming your way, but as far as it disrupting your normal, it seems to be upsetting you. That's how I see that. The Page of Pentacles in the challenge position. So the challenge here is building some sort of new foundation. Possibly you're not sure you want to build a new foundation, right? You're quite happy with the one you already had, or you're quite content where you already were. I feel like this is you fighting against change, even though it's going to take change to bring you to a new level of happiness or to continue to evolve, Aquarius. If you stay in the same spot, then that's just that. That's where you stay, right? Okay, let's see. What else you got? So what do we got going forward? So the card at the center ends up being this Eight of Swords, okay? Going forward, I've got the Six of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so the Six of Swords is because you are definitely, it fits into me with the Hermit up there. It's like you've definitely pulled your energy back because you were very uncomfortable with how quickly things were moving and how much change was becoming apparent was going to take place or something. I think somewhere deep inside of you, you do want these changes because I think you do want to level up as far as happiness goes. But I think that you are, you know, there's a lot of chaos that comes between here and getting to that sense of peace, right? Yeah, I feel like. For you anyways, there's just a lot. You're very comfortable in the situation you have right now. Even if it's not the happiest or it's not moving you in the right direction necessarily, it's keeping you a little stagnant, but you're very content there. So you are not quite so eager to jump into a situation where you have to change all of that. But I'm telling you, Aquarius, I believe that true happiness and possibly true love both exist on the other side of this. So you've got to get through this little hallway in the middle, right? Six of Swords, so you're trying to steer your life into calmer waters. It's okay. Steering your life into calmer waters is great. Are you doing it by going forward, though, or are you trying to turn around and retreat? Are you trying to go backwards? Because that's not Can't really go backwards in life. Not effectively, Aquarius. Forward is the way to go, right? Three of Pentacles, and then the challenge is the Two of Pentacles. So this has something to do with somebody else. This is a collaboration that you are, I don't know, I feel like one of your feet is running towards it and the other one's running from it. So you're going to be doing the splits here in a minute because you're not willing to let go of what this is. You know there's happiness in whatever this is, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, or a job. That it could go any one of those ways, but you absolutely know that there is happiness to be obtained within this dynamic. However, one foot's running for it and the other one's trying to run away from it. Two of Pentacles in the challenge position. Yeah, you're doing the splits, for Christ's sakes. How comfortable can that be? You're just afraid of change, it looks like. Change can be a good thing. You know that, Aquarius? It can be. It can be a bad thing. I'll give you that. It can. I don't believe it is in this particular dynamic, but it could be. Let's see. What do you got on the bottom? King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. What is this burden that you are carrying? Because I don't believe it's from this dynamic. This is something you're carrying with you from a past dynamic, from something in your past. You know, this is all new, I believe. Even if this is a reconciliation, I don't believe this is the situation that brought you the heavy burden. Somebody else or someplace else, another situation is what has, weighed you down with this heavy burden. You got to shake it off. You got to put it down. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to be happy, right? I mean, it's time for you to evolve. But for this week, with the Observer card up there in the window at the beginning, I have a feeling that you're just trying to stall for a second and catch your breath and make sure that you know exactly what's the easiest or the best route to get to where you're trying to go. You don't want to go through any unnecessary drama, I feel like. You're trying to take this real soft and smooth, right? Okay. That's not a bad thing. Okay, let me get three more. What else you got? Four of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and the Moon. So the fear for you is that there's something here that you're not seeing clearly. That seems to be the overall fear. You know, that there's something here where somebody's being deceptive or not telling you the whole truth. They're not letting you in on all the secrets, right? I can't promise you that there's not things here that you don't see yet, but I don't think that there's anything here that you can't pretty easily get past, okay? Four of Swords, the biggest obstacle that you have right now is a very last bit of healing that needs to be done. You know what I mean? I think you've healed a whole bunch. I just think there's this little bit left to get through. And that's the little bit that's going to allow you to move forward and to allow this change, okay? Six of Pentacles, you're requiring equal give and take. You're not going to settle for less. You know your worth. You've worked hard to get to this healed, okay? Just a little bit more. It's going to be okay. So for this week, I think you're watching. But I do believe you should put your tennis shoes on and make sure they're tied tight because I think you're going to get to moving here pretty quick, okay? All right, that's what I have for Aquarius. We are going to kick this one off with an oracle card just because I love this oracle deck. So let's see what they give you. What we got for Pisces. Okay, exchanging gifts. That's the one we have for you. So hold on one second. Alrighty, so it says it is the law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing costs, and determining value is the essential meaning behind this. For some reason, Pisces, I get the feeling that you are very good at giving, but possibly you have a bit of an issue with receiving. That's just something I feel with this card. You know, you have to do both. You have to be willing to give, yes, but you also have to be willing to receive, maybe. Let's see. We'll see how it starts out. Okay, Judgment is the first card out for you. Let me see. Okay, this one's going to be for Pisces. Pisces. Okay. So like I said, you started with Judgment, followed by the King of Wands. And then I have the Five of Wands. So this part right here is your backstory or your recent past. King of Wands in the center, huh? So King of Wands in the center tells me that maybe right now you are in a very, I don't know if you just got out of something. Maybe you just came out of some sort of relationship, because this feels as though you are definitely open to meeting new people. But I don't know that you're necessarily looking to be restricted or tied down to anything right this second. Maybe if the right person showed up, but it's definitely not what is like at the forefront for you right now. Well, this is your recent past, so this is where you were at anyways recently. Judgment. I do believe that maybe you are a little judgmental in general right here. That's how it feels. Challenge being the Five of Wands. You are definitely conflicted about what you do or do not want right this minute. Meaning that there's a part of you that would love to live happily ever after in a house with a white picket fence. But there's a bigger part of you that is not wanting to take a gamble like that. Like you want, I don't know. You're just trying to be more free-spirited and more let everything flow than that, I feel like. However, I do feel like you are being very judgmental towards others, possibly, okay? And with the Five of Wands, that's you trying to deal with the inner conflict. So let's see. That's the backstory. So like I said, this is something that's already pretty much happened, but it gives me an idea of where we're working from. Okay, what do we got then? So currently, where are you at? Currently, I have you with the Four of Wands, okay? The Six of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. Six of Wands ends up being the card at the center. So I don't know if you are somehow in the public's eye. Are you somebody who is, you attract a lot of attention at any rate, okay? So you're somebody, when you walk into a room, people turn around to look. And so people pay close attention to the things that you do as well, okay? Four of Wands, huh? So Four of Wands makes me feel like whatever the situation you are in right this very second, whether you love it or hate it, it is a situation that you were for some reason destined to be in. Like there's a lesson that has to be learned within the current dynamic. And it has something to do with loyalty, friends, relationships. It has something to do with that dynamic, with how you deal with that or how you pick the people to put into that place. With the exchanging gifts, now I'm starting to wonder, did you pour too far into something here in the recent past where you were fully invested and somebody was not as invested in you, or was it the other way around? Was somebody constantly bestowing you with gifts or working very hard to try to make you happy and you weren't giving back the same because it just wasn't where you felt like you wanted to be, but it was very hard to leave because you were very comfortable there? That's almost how this feels. Queen of Wands is the card in the challenge in the current, and that's because you're in a position right now where you can have pretty much whatever you want. The issue being there's nothing around you that you truly want. Like everything around you is like, Maybe because there's not much challenge to it. Could be that everything just kind of seems to almost fall in your lap. I mean, I don't mean it quite like that, but a little bit. I mean, you don't have to put forward any effort and things seem to come towards you. Maybe you want something with a little more challenge? I don't know. What do we got in the near future? Let me see. Now we've got the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Six of Swords. Yeah, this is speaking to what I felt in the beginning here as far as this is all about you being in a dynamic. I really feel like I've got this figured out now. I think you were recently, at least in the recent past. I feel like for most of you, you might still be attached to this person. Like you're in a dynamic right now where it is not what you want. It's not your forever, and you know that. It's just not. It just doesn't float your boat like that. However, it's hard to leave because it's comfortable. It's hard to leave because there's a lot of ease here. This person is trying very hard to keep you in this spot by giving you gifts or, you know what I'm saying? But the scales are really out of balance in this situation. They're 100% in and you're in like, I don't know, 24% or something. I know you're just not really into this, but it is difficult to leave because it's not like you found what you want elsewhere. But there's no fire in this thing. I mean, in whatever it is you're in right this minute or that you just left, it was just very blah. It just didn't do it for you. Possibly because they tried too hard, to be honest. I can definitely see where that could be the case. Okay, so we have the Devil, the Four of Cups, and the King of Cups, yeah. I mean, the Devil to the Four of Cups is just speaking to this crazy sense of dissatisfaction. You're not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? You're disillusioned, dissatisfied, disappointed. It's like nothing is, on paper, it is everything, right? But in reality, it's not coming through. It's just not floating your boat, not making you happy. So in black and white, it looks great, but in reality, it's not doing it for you. And you can't seem to control that part, right? The Devil being attached to the Four of Cups intensifies it to another degree, too, where it's like all you can do is look at other people and see what they have and you don't, or I don't know. It just feels like you're tied down or trapped to something that is not where you want to be. Okay, you're only as trapped as you let yourself be, but moving on. King of Cups, this is you keeping your emotions completely under control. You're just not letting loose of them at all. Let me see. 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have the Sun, the Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. I don't know that you were that aware of this situation and how not thrilled you were with it until recently. And I feel like at this point now you're stressed out because you don't want to look like the bad guy. You don't want to leave this situation because they haven't done anything wrong. It's just you let a situation go on for too long in the direction that you really didn't intend on going, I think. This person you're dealing with is coming through as the Queen of Pentacles. So they are somebody who is incredibly, they're home. Okay, that's what they are. They're that kind of relationship material. They are looking for forever, you know. And as the King of Wands, I don't think that you are. Not right now. Not in this situation. I mean, you just got to be in the right situation, and this is not it for you, I don't think. So exchanging gifts. In the beginning, I thought that this was you being unwilling, unable to receive. I think this is instead a situation where you're not unwilling to give. It's just you don't have it. It's not a natural instinct in this dynamic because this isn't where you're supposed to be, it feels like. This just, not everybody can be the right one, right? This doesn't appear to me to be the right one, but you are holding yourself back from finding the right one by staying in this dynamic, it looks like. For those of you that are still in this. For those of you that have broken free, you're still attached to this person, at least energetically, but I think that will fade in time. Okay? That's what I see this week. There you go. Okay. Boom. We are going to start this one for Aries by pulling an oracle card, because I love this deck, and see what there's a theme to this week's reading, okay? All right, who'd you get, Aries? What you got? Oh, we're going to take that one. Okay, you got message in a bottle, okay? Hold on. Love the deck, but unfortunately I don't know all of them by heart, so anyways, I have to look them up. So for the message in a bottle, it is saying that this is communication coming towards you. So like the 8 of Wands, I guess. It's a communication or a sign that is going to lead you in the way that is towards your greater good. Okay, so you have to be aware of signs around you. That's that. We'll see if it plays in here. Now, let's see what you get. Okay, for Aries for this week. Let's see. We've got Aries, Aries, Aries. All right, you are opening with the 8 of Cups. Okay, followed by the Dream. And then the Queen of Pentacles in the challenge position. Okay, Aries, this is your backstory or your recent past. I believe that you are currently part of a situation that is, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not a bad situation. You're just part of some kind of a relationship, it feels like. Possibly a job, but it feels like a relationship that's not bad. There's nothing bad here, okay? But in order for you to get to whatever your true dream is, for you to get to the lofty goal that you have off in the distance, if you stay attached to what you have going on right here, you know that's not going to happen, okay? And mind you, this person's done nothing wrong. If this is a person, if it's a job, the job hasn't done anything wrong. Nobody's done anything to you to give you an easy out here, okay? It comes down to you figuring out where your priorities lie. Are you willing to settle for what you have right here because it's not bad? Which you could. You have free will. Or do you want to push forward to whatever this dream is? That is your backstory going into this, it looks like, okay? So where are you at currently? And possibly you've been receiving signs that this is, like the time is now if you're going to jump ship, right, and go towards whatever this dream was. Okay, what do we got? Currently, I've got you with the Magician, okay? Followed by the 6 of Cups. And then Temperance is the challenge. Yeah. So the Magician to the 6 of Cups, right? You have a ton of history with whoever this is. It feels like a person now. I wasn't sure in the beginning, but I'm pretty sure now. So you have a ton of history here. This is someplace where it is easy. It feels safe, right? You don't have to try too hard. I don't know. It's comfortable. And if that's what you choose to stay in, that is fine. Like I said, you have free will. But on the other side, you have the Magician, and you're manifesting this dream that you have. This thing that you really want. The challenge is temperance, right? The challenge is you have to find a sense of patience here. We are talking to Aries, so this is not one of your stronger suits usually. You're looking for a sense of healing and balance. So it is all about you deciding what is it that you want most, right? If you have to pick between these two things, which one will you pick? Mind you, going after this dream is not guaranteed, but it's guaranteed that you can't stay where you are and pursue the dream, okay? Well, that's a quandary there, Aries. Sorry, let's see what else you got. What else do you got here? Okay. So, we've got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Wands. And then I've got the Ace of Cups. Well, they just keep making it tougher, huh? Nine of Cups. So here, this is your the near future. I'm sorry, near future. Nine of Cups is you know, settling in on what your wish fulfillment is. Okay, what is it that you truly want out of life? What is it you're trying to attain? Nine of Wands. You have no desire to hurt this person. You really don't. Why would you? They haven't done anything to you. But if you don't move on and go after your dream, it feels like you're going to hurt yourself. That's how you see it. The challenge here is the Ace of Cups. Whatever the dynamic here is, it's like it has grown stagnant and now it either needs to evolve, so move to the next level in this relationship, or it needs to be cut loose so you can go after this other thing, whatever that is. But it can't stay where it's at right now. It's gone as far as it can in the current dynamic. It's like it's stuck, right? Okay, what's on the bottom? Knight of Swords, Judgment, Three of Wands, yeah. Knight of Swords, so you're on a crusade for clarity. You're trying to figure yourself out, really. Trying to figure out where do your priorities lie. What is it that you truly want? Judgment, I think that you are very fearful, or not fearful, maybe fearful. I don't know. You just, you know you'll be judged, and you'll be judged because if you were somebody else looking into the situation, you would judge you as well. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're seeing it. So, if you're being judged, does that mean what you're doing is wrong? You know, I think that's where the catch is here. The Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is you trying desperately to look into your future and try to blaze a path towards whatever your dream is. Well, hell's bells there. There you go. Let's see what else we got. Right here, I've got the Six of Wands, the Sun, and the Four of Swords. I think there is a level of public recognition and fame, or fame, is that the right word? I don't know. There's definitely a level of public recognition that you have dreamed of and that you desperately want to attain. I feel like you tried to not see the facts in this situation, so you tried to push yourself forward believing that it'd be okay. It's going to all come together. And now all of a sudden it's like, bam, you know, you have to pick what is it that you want or don't want. With the Four of Swords, you're trying to take a minute to rest. That's not a bad idea. Take a minute to rest and get your footing underneath you. But I think everywhere you go, you're still seeing these messages, right? You're still seeing these signs and synchronicities that are telling you one thing or the other. All right. I don't know that this helped any, but at least it tells you somebody understands. I don't know. Okay. I can't do much more than that because it truly is up to you, and I don't believe all of you will make the same choice, right? There you go. That's what I have this week. Okay, there you go. I'm going to start with an oracle card because I just love this deck. I just absolutely love this deck of cards. Anyway, so we're going to pick your card and see if it's the theme maybe for this reading. Let's see how that works, okay? So let me see what you got. Okay, so we're going to start with who you got. All right, you got higher power. So give me 1 second. All right, so I don't know the cards that well yet, so that's why we're doing it this way. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, and committing to a partnership with spirit. So that looks like you are just front and center. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see how tarot plays in with that, okay? All right, this one's for my Taurus. All righty. Okay, so you're opening with the World. Alrighty, to what? To the Six of Pentacles. And the challenge is the Four of Pentacles. So, this is your backstory or your recent past. Now, we are talking to Taurus. So, Challenge positions, Four of Pentacles. So there's something here that you feel that you have a sense of loyalty or commitment to, that it would appear in the recent past you had a very hard time cutting loose of, even though it no longer served you. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you've cut loose of it yet, but I think you're, whatever, you're working that out, because I have the World card and then the Six of Pentacles. So due to a rather significant lack of reciprocity in the dynamic, it looks as though the cycle has been closed out. I do not believe that you closed this cycle out, nor do I believe your partner really did. I think this is something where Spirit has stepped in and closed this cycle out, more or less. You're having a very hard time cutting it loose, not because you have this surge of emotion or this need or anything, you can't live without this person or whatever. It has more to do with you being stuck in a routine. Like, I get up, I brush my teeth, brush my hair, and I'm in this situation. It's just something you have established over time. But sometimes there needs to be change because of stagnancy or because of things that aren't fair, right? Okay, so I get the feeling that Spirit has intervened in this deal. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so that's the backstory. That's where we're coming from. I feel like this lack of reciprocity was something that was gradual at first and got worse over time, right? But it came up so slow that you didn't even realize it was there until it was too late. Okay, where are we at currently? You've got Judgment. Okay. The Tower. And the Hierophant. Yeah. Now, the Hierophant is your card, so in some ways you're standing in your power here, but it's in the challenge position. The Tower is in the center. So, I mean, this is something that I believe that you invested in heavily, something that you, I don't know, it's something that had significant time and effort behind it, right? This situation. You definitely had a much higher level of commitment towards whatever this was, period. That's fine. But you were building on a foundation that was not sturdy enough to sustain y'all. Yeah. I think that as this thing has started to fall apart, really, for lack of a better way to put it, it looks like you have come to the realization of it, just exactly how warped everything was. I think while you were in the middle of it, you didn't realize how out of sync everything was. It just became your normal. This is just what you did on a daily basis. So now I feel like you are trying, or you're not trying, you are passing judgment. I still feel like it's Spirit that was the ultimate thing that passed judgment in this situation, though. Because what you could not see, the unfairness that you could not see, they could. And that is why this has been brought to a close or something. The Hierophant over here in the challenge position is speaking to the fact that it's just very hard for you to be 100% committed to something and then not be. It's not something that Tauruses just do by snapping their fingers. Taurus and Scorpio, maybe Capricorn. I mean, it's just tough on them. So you're having a tough time letting go, but that's what I see. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, what do we got in the near future? Near future. Okay, from here, we've got the Magician, and then the Eight of Wands, and then the Nine of Wands in the challenge. Magician, and the Eight of Wands. So, however this whole thing has fallen apart, it feels like, in the process, one of the things that definitely suffered, or had probably suffered for a long time and you didn't realize how badly it had gotten, was the communication between the two of you. It's like there's a block here where it's like, even if you were to try to talk to this person and have a civil conversation, it doesn't go right? Because it's like what you say, they can't understand. What they say doesn't come across right to you. It's just a block. It is, yeah. With the Magician in front of it, you're manifesting communication. You want to not only have a sense of closure, but you want to help them have a sense of closure. You want to get to the bottom of this and understand what went wrong so that you can compartmentalize it in your brain or something, You need answers and an understanding here. I do believe you will get it eventually. I don't know that you can get it right now. And it has to do with the fact that everybody's just got too many emotions, resentment, anger, all that stuff in here, okay? Pride. Nine of Wands in the challenge position. You're definitely feeling wounded by this whole experience. Anybody would. I mean, that's a normal reaction to this. So is the other person involved. But this had gotten to a point where it was incredibly toxic, and I don't even think you realized it. Like I said, because it became your normal, you didn't realize it was off. I do think you're realizing it now, and you will continue to realize it as you move forward. But here in the recent past, I think you just took it as normal. Okay, what do we got on the bottom? The Hermit, the Queen of Cups, and the Death card. Yeah. The Hermit is here because you are pulling your energy back out of this to try to reassess it and to try to understand what went wrong. It's like an extension of what I was saying here. The Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups has a lot of great attributes, right? She's nurturing, she's maternal, she's intuitive. She also has a tendency, though, to be empathetic to her detriment. So I think over the course of however long you were in this dynamic we're talking about, I think you excused people's bad behavior in the name of love, right? I mean, love isn't supposed to feel that way. It's not. And you're not supposed to sell yourself out or sell yourself short. You have to realize your worth, okay? With the Death card here at the end, it's definitely a transformation that you're going through, they're going through, everybody's going through. This isn't something where people came in with nefarious intent to make something bad. Okay, I think everybody came in with great intention. Over time, it just, certain things were allowed and they got away with this and you got away with that. And it built itself into an unfortunate toxic situation. But that's not how it started. That's what I see here. But at this point, everybody needs to go through this transformation so they can get back their sense of self-worth and self-awareness. Okay, what do we got here? Knight of Pentacles, the Star card, and the Chariot. Yeah. With the Knight of Pentacles, this has had a very slow and cautious spin to it, I feel like. You know, I feel like everybody's trying to look the other way. Like, what do you see? I don't see nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? With the Star card, you are incredibly optimistic. You know things will get better. For all you know, things could get better within this dynamic. It's not going to happen right this minute, but once the two of you do your healing, you never know. You could come back together. I mean, right this minute, though, this is not a valid option, I don't believe. That's how I see it. Anyways. Okay, the Chariot. Things are coming at you fast now. They may have been moving slow at one point, but at this point, I think they have definitely started to pick up speed. I'm sure that makes you quite uncomfortable, but it is for the greater good, I assure you. Okay, so I don't know. You could view this reading as bad. It's really not. In the bigger picture, I'm sure this is all happening for you, not to you, but there you go. That's what I have for you this week. I absolutely have fallen in love with this silly oracle deck here. So I'm going to pull one card to start, and we will see. Maybe it will give it a theme or something for today's reading. Okay? All right, let's see what you get. Let me see. For my Geminis. Round and round. I'm so sorry about the dogs. So sorry. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't know this deck that well yet. We're learning it, so we'll go and read this part. It says the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. Cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. So we'll see if that plays in here. Are you on some sort of a karmic roller coaster right now? Maybe. Time to get off the roller coaster. Let's see what we got. This one is for we got Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Alrighty. Put my glasses up. Okay, where are we starting? We're going to start with the Magician. Oh, these dogs. Okay, and then the Seven of Cups, followed by the Four of Wands. So this right here is going to be your backstory or your recent past. The Magician to the Seven of Cups, Four of Wands. So I feel as though you are manifesting new possibilities, new options, new directions, right? You're ready to move on from whatever this lesson is that is right behind you. The issue here is the challenge position, which is the Four of Wands. I don't think that you have quite integrated the lesson, right? There's something here about you being close. Maybe you failed the final exam on this or something. You got to retake it. So you're manifesting forward motion, new options, new directions, and in reality, Spirit saying, no, not quite so fast, people. Come on. You got to get this down for sure. That's how I see this. This is, like I said, your backstory. So this is just so we know where we're building from. Okay, so let's see. Where are you at currently? What you got going on, Gemini? Currently. Okay. Let's see. For my Geminis, we've got the Road. Okay. The High Priestess in the center, and King of Cups in the challenge position. All right. So I think that you have mapped out a path, It's like, I want to go over there and I'm going to take that road there. And Spirit's like, no, nope, you're not going that way. You got to go this way, so we're sure we got this lesson right. I feel like there's something where you're going, okay, Momo's here, where you're still trying to go to the same spot, but you're being redirected as far as the path goes to make sure that you've got this lesson done. The High Priestess in the center. I think there is a level of secrecy to this whole situation and of not understanding what's going on, and that's because you got Spirit running the show, right? And they don't bother to tell you exactly what's going on. So things that you thought you could count on all of a sudden seem like they're wishy-washy, and things that you never would have thought you would depend on suddenly are the things that are coming through for you. Feels like everything is kind of topsy-turvy right this minute, you know? And it's because there is a level of the unknown involved in this situation currently. Could be part of your lesson is learning to surrender control. It's possible. King of Cups in the challenge position. For some reason, there's something here about you losing control of your emotions in some respect. Something here has got you more emotionally invested in something that you should not be, or that you know is detrimental to you. Like it's not, you being emotionally invested in whatever this is not an asset. Okay, it's not helping you. And still you're doing it. I don't know what that's about. Whoa, hello. Okay, almost dropped them all. Hey, Momo. Momo's here to say hi. He's good luck, you know, she's good luck, I mean. Okay, now I've got 6 of Pentacles, aren't you? You're good luck. You're going to lay on the cards. I know you are. 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and the 8 of Swords in the near future. Let me see. So 6 of Pentacles. I feel like there is something here about you needing to repay somebody that has been kind or helped you in the past. Suddenly they need help or something like that. There's something here where it's like it's inconvenient for you to try to repay this person, but you need to because they helped you when you needed it, kind of thing. You just want to go forward. You want to find these new options, but there's things that still need to be taken care of in the current, okay? Queen of Wands. I mean, you are definitely somebody who is very fiery, very passionate, very driven, especially right now, right? Get your foot off that one card. And then the 8 of Swords. So your biggest obstacle that you face on a daily is the 8 of Swords, right? Overthinking things. Talking yourself out of certain situations and talking yourself into other ones. If you would just go with the flow, things would move much easier for you, I think. But that's all right. That's you, right? That is you. Okay. You got your foot there. What do we got? On the bottom, I've got Justice, the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Oops, Justice to the King of Swords, huh? So is there some sort of a legal attachment to something that you're having to work through? Like a contract or... This feels to me like some sort of a contract or something that you're already committed to and you have to get to the other side of before you can go forward like you want to. So you're having to basically stick by your word or stick by whatever it is that you've agreed to here to avoid legal action of some sort. Page of Wands, you just want to fly free. You just want to be a free spirit and go try new things. But it looks like you have a commitment here to something. I'm not sure that it's a person like that. It could be a job or there's something here that you've already agreed to see through. And I feel like that's what has to happen. That's where the 6 of Pentacles comes in. You have given your word or agreed to see something through, and now you have to uphold your word. Then I have the Fool, the Dream, and the 5 of Pentacles. With the Fool, you're trying to take a leap of faith towards something that you consider to be the ultimate dream for you. This is where you want to end up. You are a Gemini, though. That can change many times. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. You are trying to quell a feeling of not fitting in that you are dealing with right now, I feel like. Feel like there's people around you, plenty of them, just not the ones that you feel like you click with or like you want to fit in with. You're looking for your soul tribe. And you will find them. But I feel like there's some sort of commitment here that you have to see through first. Maybe it's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe you have kids and you got to finish raising your kids first or something. There's something here that you agreed to do already and you have to see that through. Is how I see this. Okay? That's what I got for you this time. I hope this helps. All right. I have these new oracle cards that I absolutely am in love with. So we're going to pick one and see if it gives us a theme for this reading. And then that's that. That's what we're doing first, okay? So for Cancer, what you got, Cancer? Let's see. Where are we at? You've got exchanging gifts, okay? So I had this one a minute ago for somebody else. So this definition I remember. This one is all about giving and receiving, right? Okay. So let's see. Also about understanding your worth. We'll see if that plays into your current situation. Okay, so here we go. For my Cancers. Cancer. Okay. This one is Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Alrighty. What you going to open with? Page of Cups. Okay, and then the Knight of Cups. And in the challenge position is the Three of Wands. Okay. So this is your backstory or your recent past, right? Page of Cups is speaking to, in this particular instance, I feel as though it is speaking to an apology, okay? With the Knight of Cups, this is all about an offer. I feel like there was an apology that was given, but it had no substance to it, okay? I do feel it's you that gave the apology. So you said you were sorry, and maybe you were, but it didn't change anything. So it didn't change whatever you were sorry about, be it the behavior or the way of seeing something. Sorry. Yeah, it just didn't change anything. You were saying it to calm the situation. You didn't want the conflict anymore, which I understand. But when you give somebody an empty apology, so it's really just words, there's nothing to back it up, it can cause some pretty severe issues in the situation, right? So, okay, so we have the apology. This is in your past anyway, so it's already happened. But so you give an apology. It looks like it's an empty apology. Because of that apology, it looks as though I believe there was an offer on the table and it was pulled back. It was redacted? Redacted. It was taken back anyways. And then we have the Three of Wands in the challenge position. So as this offer was taken off the table because they felt this apology was empty, it looks like it kind of changed the trajectory of where you thought your future was going. You had a plan. I'm going that way. You know what I'm saying? And this very much so seems to have upended that in the recent past, okay? And you are standing there, you know, you're like, I said I was sorry, but you didn't have any action behind it. Is what the issue is here, it looks like. That's what I see. Could it be vice versa? I guess. I don't know. Ten of Wands. It doesn't feel like it, but I guess it could. I got the Ten of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Road. Yeah. Somebody realizing that you didn't mean what you said, or somebody feeling as though you didn't have any sort of substance behind this apology. It has caused the entire forward motion of everything for you in the future to be very, very upended. There's no certainty in it right now. It's very uncertain. You're not sure which direction you're going from here. The card in the center of your read is really the same card that would be the exchanging gifts, right? Six of Pentacles. It's all about giving and receiving, and about the fact that there needs to be reciprocity. So you have to not only be good at giving, you have to be good at receiving, but you have to do both, okay? You can't have the scales totally off balance because you're only doing one side of that, whichever side that is. And the Ten of Wands, this is a very heavy burden that you're carrying, and it's over this empty apology. Meaning if you could take it back, you would. I believe that firmly. If you could take back this apology and, I don't know, say it with more meaning or change something about it, you would absolutely do it. But at this point, you cannot, because that is your past. So now you're dealing with whatever the fallout is how this looks to me. And this is not to say that you made the apology with nefarious intent. You just wanted there to not be any more conflict, is what you did, okay? Okay, so where are we going in the near future? Sorry. Okay, we have Justice, followed by the Page of Pentacles. And then I've got the Three of Cups in the challenge position. The two pages, it lends itself to possibly, maybe the actions that were taken here were a little bit immature or not very well thought out. It was like a knee-jerk reaction. Somebody was upset, so you just made the apology to try to make it calm, right? I think that's what happened there. The Justice card on the other side, I mean, the scales have to be balanced out at this point. I think this is a very harsh lesson in being careful that the words you speak, you have the integrity to be able to stand behind them, right? Maybe. The challenge position. So the challenge position being the Three of Cups. There's something here about friends or a third energy somehow being the challenge in this dynamic. So it doesn't, I mean, a third energy is just that, a third energy. So it's somebody that's taking your attention away from where it needs to be to a degree that's not acceptable. And I think it's because to go forward in the direction with this dynamic, it would take a lot of work. And obviously this direction over here with this person is very easy. You don't have to put in that much work. So you're being a little bit lazy maybe, huh? Going in the wrong direction possibly because you don't want to put in the work. But that's, don't we all at times, I guess, huh? Okay, what do we got on the bottom? I've got the Devil, the High Priestess, and the Sun. Lord have mercy. What are you doing, Cancer? You're being very secretive about a temptation that you've got around you right now. No doubt it is the third energy. With the Sun on the other side, I feel like no matter how secretive you're trying to be, that fact is being illuminated to the people that matters. Okie dokie. Well, you know, that's okay. What do we got? I've got the Five of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is you trying to find someplace where you fit in. You're feeling very left out or alone right this minute. It just feels like nobody gets you or understands you. That's how you feel. I don't think you're giving most people an opportunity to truly get you or understand you. It's a kind of a two-way street there. You have to be willing to be vulnerable and open up. I think maybe that's part of the issue. I also feel like you find a sense of comfort in a grouping of people that are probably not the best for you with the Devil card right here. You know, with the Wheel of Fortune, it feels like Spirit has stepped in to some extent. Whatever was unfair here, they feel as though it shouldn't go forward, you know. It's like it's gone on long enough or something. I don't know. The Ten of Pentacles. At one time, you felt this was a slam dunk. This was the direction you were going in. This was going to make life easy on you. I don't believe that that is the direction it is headed in right now, unless you can put in a ton of work to try to turn this around. And to be honest with you, I don't think that there is that much drive to do that. I just don't, from what I see here. But I do believe that this is a harsh lesson that you're learning, but once it's learned, it'll be behind you, and then you move forward to a different kind of dynamic, right? Everybody has to learn this kind of lesson at some point. It just looks like, that's the spot you're in right now, you know. That's what I see. Okay, so it's all going to be great, but it's a process, right? In the bigger picture, this is for the good, I'm sure. And it doesn't look like you're left empty-handed, because there is still another energy here, so there you go. Okay? All right, that's what I see. I have fallen in love with this silly oracle deck here. I just love it. So we're going to pick one card and see if it gives us like a, I don't know, an overall theme for your reading or something, okay? We'll give that a try. Let's see what we got. What'd you get for Leo? Okay, for Leo. Go the distance. Okay, just a second here. I am, however, still learning these cards. So here we go. So the essential meanings on go the distance is endurance, strength, and the long haul. Ironic that strength's in there a little bit, huh? But anyways, let's see if that plays into your reading, okay? So this one is for Leo. Pretty card. Let's see, for Leo. Alrighty, where are we starting? You're starting with the dream. And then I have the Three of Wands. And in the challenge, I have the Road. Okay, so this is your backstory or your recent past as far as I'm concerned. So the dream here. So there is definitely a goal, a lofty goal that you have ahead of you. Something that you have been working towards for a significant amount of time. Something you intend to achieve, okay? With the Three of Wands, this is you trying to stay forward focused. It's you looking towards your future. And the challenge here is the road. So I get the feeling that possibly you were on one path to try to get to this dream. Maybe that path has not turned out to be the right path. So you're having to adjust or something. There's something here where things have been made difficult and possibly you have to think on your feet to restructure whatever you're going towards, right? And that's why we get go the distance, because you can't give up at this point. Come too far for that. Okay, let's see where it goes from there. So then where are we at in the current? Okay, that's a lot of cards. I don't know what you got there. Is it 3? It's 4. That figures. Okay, so who you get? 9 of Wands, 9 of Cups, the Empress, and the Ace of Swords. Okay, so the journey to get to this dream has left you feeling pretty wounded in some respects. You've definitely had to deal with some adversities, that's for certain. Okay, 9 of Cups in the center says you have not lost sight of your dream, whatever this wish fulfillment that you're headed towards. We have the Empress in the challenge position, so I feel like possibly the reason you got the go the distance card has something to do with you maybe toying with the idea of giving up. You know, you feel like you've fought a good fight and you're not sure if you really care that much anymore. But you have to continue to nurture this dream if you're going to get there, okay? You can have setbacks or bad days, but it's not the time to give up at this point, okay? Ace of Swords on the other side, the extra card, I would say this has something to do with you being able to fully step into your authenticity, and I think that is something that will not come into fruition until you manage to achieve this dream. There's just something here about that being part of this journey. Okay, so what do we got? In the near future, I'm looking at Justice. There you go. Followed by the 2 of Pentacles. And then the 7 of Pentacles. Well, the 7 of Pentacles being over here in the challenge position is kind of speaking to the same thing. Here in the near future, you have to continue to invest in this direction. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to do anything. You can give up if you want to, but why? Why would you give up at this point? It could be just right around the corner, right? You've come a long ways. You might as well stay in the fight now. 2 of Pentacles in the center. You are definitely feeling, number 1, spread very thin, which is a recurring theme for Leos with me in these readings. Anyways, it's like you get yourself, you have a hard time making priorities, making a list of your priorities and sticking to it. You try to make everybody happy. And in doing so, you spread yourself too thin, which is an issue. It causes a huge imbalance in your life. So you need to constantly try to reassess everything and decide where your priorities lie, right? And the Justice card is the fact that all this hard work that you have already put in will come to fruition. You just can't give up the fight, okay? Is what I see here. Okay, what do we got on the bottom? You've got the 3 of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and the 8 of Cups. Okay, there is a friend group that is part of this situation or some grouping of people that you have come into contact with. They are not advantageous to you achieving this goal, and you know it. This is not the group of people you need to be hanging out with. This is not the group of people that's going to help you get here. They may feel like a lot of fun right this second, but it is costing you, okay? They are holding you back from getting to where you want to be, and it's time for you to walk away from them. It may not be easy, but it will absolutely play out to be in your favor if you do. It'll take a minute to recover and rest from the situation, because I don't know if they're a lot of fun or what, but whatever they are definitely detrimental to your journey here. I mean, no doubt sent by the devil, right? But if the devil wasn't fun, nobody'd do it. So nobody would do that route. Whatever it is, it's really holding you back from getting to where you need to be. 3 more. I've got the 2 of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. It's also causing some sort of grief. This group of friends is causing some sort of grief within a divine union that has come towards you. The divine union was sent in to help you on your journey, but this grouping of friends is definitely causing a great deal of grief within that dynamic, okay? 9 of Swords, stressed out, anxiety. Spread too thin, right? This one's pretty cut and dry. You're going to get to your goal as long as you don't give up, but you need to give up this grouping of friends right here. And it's not like you have to stop and wonder. The minute I said it, it should have been like, oh yeah, those people. Okay, those ones over there. That is what I see this week. It's actually a great reading. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Nobody's is ever 100% great, but this is pretty great, really. You're headed in the right direction. You just can't give up at this point, okay? All right, that's what I see for you this week. This one right here. We're going to open this up with an oracle card just because I absolutely love this deck and I'm trying to learn it better. So we'll pick one and see if it doesn't give us a theme for the whole reading. Okay, that's a good idea. I like it. Okay, this one's for my Virgos. What do you got, Virgo? All right, let's see. Let's go in there. What you get? Unfinished Symphony. Wow, there you go. Okay, so let me check on that. So, I don't know everything about this deck yet, so we have to read them real quick. So we've got the essential messages or meanings. Essential meanings is unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, or the need to make amends. Okay? We'll see if that plays into your reading right here. So, this one's for my Virgos. Okay, we've got Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. All right, you're opening with the Three of Wands, followed by the Four of Cups, and the challenge is the Two of Wands. So this is your backstory or your recent past. Three of Wands, Four of Cups, Two of Wands. Well, Three of Wands says that in the recent past you were trying to be very forward focused. You're looking towards your future, right? That's where you're maybe to an extreme that was not necessarily balanced. That was all you were focused on, was the future. You weren't living enough in the current, maybe. Four of Cups would say that you found everything in your situation very dissatisfying or disappointing. You were forgetting to be grateful for the things that you possibly had and only focusing on the things that you felt you had, you did not have. Two of Wands, it looks like possibly you had a decision to make in the recent past, and maybe you made one that might not have been the best decision, but that we all do that sometimes, right? So the unfinished symphony says that you either didn't learn the lesson here, or that maybe you ghosted somebody or walked away from a situation and did not give the other people involved closure. I feel like you hold the key to closure here, possibly, or there's a lesson here that you just haven't learned yet. Let's see. We'll go from there. That's your backstory. Like I said, we can't change that if we want to. It's already happened, but this is where we're working from now. Okay, so what do we have in the current? I've got the Queen of Pentacles, followed by the Lovers, and in the challenge position, the Nine of Cups. Okay, so I feel that going from this direction, I feel that there was a love situation. That's what's going to be at the center. So definitely a situation heavily laden with emotion that was surrounded by a ton of uncertainty. Okay. So it feels like maybe you got yourself knee-deep in a relationship, but then found it to not be to your liking or not be everything you wanted it to be. You thought there was something more out there, right? Not that it wasn't good, but it just wasn't exactly. You felt like there was something more. That's how I feel. And so you exited. You made a decision to exit, but I don't know that you gave the person involved closure. And that's something that you have the ability to do and need to do here. But by giving closure, I think that in your mind you are admitting fault or admitting guilt or something. Or maybe you're having to face the fact that possibly you made the wrong decision, right? So it's easier to just try to ignore it and walk away from it. But that's not the way this works. That's the lesson that was trying to be taught here, is to take accountability for whatever's happened. Okay, Queen of Pentacles. I would have to say that that is whoever the other person is in this dynamic. It feels like. Nine of Cups is the challenge. Your wish fulfillment. I don't know that it... possibly your wish fulfillment was a bit unrealistic. Or it's changed now. Now you want what you can no longer have because you've already made another decision. It's a lesson. It's all good. But they're saying that you haven't learned it yet. So that's a bit concerning because you don't want to have to live through the same situation again, right? Not really. Let's see. What do we got going forward in the near future? Six of Pentacles. Okay. Eight of Wands. And the Ten of Cups. There's something here, Virgo, about you not wanting to open up. You not wanting to show a level of vulnerability that is necessary to achieve something like true happiness or true love. There has to be an equal give and take here, okay? You can't be 100% in control of the situation at all times. You can, but that's not true love. That is, you have to have some sort of reciprocity here. you expect for them to be vulnerable, then you must be vulnerable too. And I feel like that is the sticking point here. There's also some sort of a block in communication. I'm not sure if you're not a good talker. Maybe you have trouble expressing your emotions, or is it that you're not a good listener? Maybe you can't quite... Maybe you have a harder time being quiet and listening. I'm not sure, but whichever way it goes, there's some sort of a block in communication here. It comes back to this not wanting to be vulnerable situation. The Ten of Cups is in the challenge position because I think that that is secretly what you want, but it is unattainable unless you can find a way to find vulnerability and openness in your communication, whether that's giving or receiving communication. Okay, what do we got on the bottom? Knight of Swords, the Hermit, and the World. So with the Knight of Swords, you're not only looking to gain a sense of clarity, this is also, part of this is you learning to give somebody a sense of clarity. So it's all about giving somebody closure, really. With the Hermit card, this is your card, so you are standing in your power here. I do believe this entire experience, this whole thing that's happened here, has caused you to pull your energy back towards you and, you know, try to reassess what you think, what you see. You are very self-aware. Lord knows you're an overthinker from way back, right? So you are trying to analyze the situation. You're trying to analyze exactly why you allowed this cycle to close. Because I think in hindsight, you are questioning whatever decisions you made. That's how I see this. And you're just trying to learn from your mistakes is what I think is happening here overall. But I think you're doing it while still trying to sidestep the whole accountability situation here. And definitely trying to sidestep the vulnerability. Okay, let's see what else we got. King of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and the King of Cups. So the King of Pentacles is you. That is who you are. Yes, that makes this person up here your divine partner, one of them. I'm sure you'll find another one at some point. But at any rate, King of Pentacles would say that you are definitely somebody who errs on the side of caution and who tries to not fly by the seat of your pants. Okay, you try to make very calculated moves forward. Okay. That could be the reason why you're having such a hard time taking accountability here, right? Because it means you have to accept or acknowledge like a wrong decision or failure, which is very difficult for you because you don't just skip along. You know, you really do think things out. So you thought this out. So to think that you thought it out and then you still made the wrong decision is very hard for you to accept, maybe. Page of Cups, it's all about an apology. It really is. It's an apology to this person because I think that they were caught in the crosshairs of you, I don't know, figuring out better who you were or something. King of Cups, if you truly are going to find true happiness or true love, you're going to have to figure out how to cut loose on these emotions. You just have to. It's just how this works. I'm sorry. I don't like it any more than you do, and I'm not even a Virgo, but that's how it works, okay? However, all of it's doable, and it looks like this was just a lesson. So let's try to figure out how to get it learned and so we don't have to go through it again, right? I think that would be the best course of action from here. Okay? All right. That's what I see for this week. There you go. I fell in love with this deck of oracle cards. So we're going to pull one for you because I'm trying to learn them. And then hopefully that'll give us a theme maybe for your reading today. Let's see what we get for my Libras. Okay, for Libra. Where are we going to go? Go right there. What do we got? Oh, good. Well, there you go. You got peace. That's bound to be a good one, right? I think they're all good in some respects, but what? Okay, let's see. So because I'm learning them, we're going to read just this part. The essential meanings. It's freedom from attachment and radical acceptance. I like it. Okay, let's see if it plays into your reading, okay? For my Libras. Freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. Okay, this one's for my Libras. You're opening with the Page of Wands, okay, followed by the Sun, and then we have the Road in the challenge position. So this is your backstory or your recent past. So, Page of Wands, this is speaking to you feeling very free-spirited, you wanting fun in your life, you wanting excitement, adventure, all of that. Okay, the Sun, so this is all about illumination. And the Road is in the challenge position. So I feel like you were headed on a path towards something you wanted. And it has been illuminated to you that quite possibly that is no longer the path that you need to be on, or that is not your best possible road to get to this goal that you have. So I feel as though there has been some sort of an adjustment, or something has had to be changed that you thought was set in stone. So you this is the way we're going, and now all of a sudden there's been some sort of an, I don't know, it's having to be altered, let's say. I think that you're taking it all very well with the Page of Wands. I feel like it's okay, whatever, let's go on an adventure that way. I don't think you're having a hard time with it necessarily, but it was unexpected for sure. So maybe that's where the radical acceptance is coming in, because I don't think you're having trouble accepting it necessarily. It's just unexpected, right? That's your backstory or your recent past. So let's see. Where are we going from there? What are you doing in the current? All right. We've got the Magician, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Cups is in the challenge position. So with the Knight of Wands in the center, this is like a super action-orientated knight, right? This is somebody who wants to go, go, go. Think about what's going to happen later. They just want to go right now. So possibly this is kind of the way you are looking at things. Like, okay, that's the wrong road. To hell with it. Let's go over there then. Let's go, 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 go. Right? You don't want to stop and think about it much. Probably better to try to temper that just a little bit, right? The Magician, you're manifesting change. You're manifesting the new road. You're manifesting to go forward. And what do we have in the challenge position? Page of Cups. So this is all about an apology. Are you owing somebody an apology, or does somebody owe you an apology? I don't feel like you owe somebody an apology, so maybe there's somebody that owes you one. Possibly it is part of somebody else's journey that you actually stick around and try to push for this apology. It's not like it's something that you necessarily need to move forward, but it's something that somebody else involved in your situation needs to do. So it's like this is where your journeys are intersecting or something. You need to push for this apology because it's something they have to do to grow. I think you're just fine with letting it go, but that's not what's supposed to happen here. Okay, so going forward, what do we got in the near future? So we're switching roads. I got it. Okay. All right, we're going to Nine of Wands. Okay. The Six of Swords. And the Hierophant. Okay, this person that owes you the apology that they're telling you need to kind of stick around and wait for or something because it's part of their journey. This is somebody who you've already forgiven, but at one time you had a higher level of commitment with this person and they acted incredibly immature and self-centered in a situation. I feel like you've already healed from it. You've accepted it. You've moved on. But they have yet to take full accountability for what happened here, and that accountability is part of their journey. So in some respects, I feel like you're almost being held a little bit back or held stagnant while you wait for this to happen because it has to happen for their growth, okay? Nine of Wands, I mean, don't get me wrong, you've been wounded by this journey, but I mean, you're just pretty resilient. Yeah, it is what it is, right? You just keep picking yourself up and moving forward, which is awesome. I mean, you have this well of optimism. You know things will get better. You're absolutely tired of waiting for whatever this is that this person needs to do, though. You're ready to get your life, on the road. Get out of this constant chaos and uncertainty and try to get towards a place where there really is peace. I feel like you could push this person and make this happen quicker if you really tried. Okay, what do we got here? On the bottom, I've got the Hangman. Exactly. So it's like you're stuck while you wait for this person to get their head out of their rear end, right? They got to get it together. Five of Swords and the Death card, huh? There's some sort of a major transformation that this person up here, the one that you used to have the higher level of commitment with, they need to step into. They're fighting going into this transformation, and it's holding you stagnant. I feel like you have the ability to kind of drop kick them into their transformation. Just push them. No. And you're not doing it. Five of Swords. You're conflicted about whether or not to push them, but you are being held up until you get them into this or until they step into it, but it doesn't look like they're willing to make this move. So you almost have to trip them or something to make them fall into this transformation they need to be a part of. And the first step in that transformation is taking accountability for whatever happened with you. So you're kind of stuck, huh? That's why you got the Hangman. You're stuck. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. The Emperor, the Ace of Wands, and the World card. Like I said already, I feel like you've closed this out with this person. I mean, you accepted the lack of closure and their actions a while back. You had to move forward. You just had to. You couldn't move forward without doing that. This person is definitely the Emperor. They are somebody who it's their way or the highway. They are not willing to compromise, not willing to take accountability. You know, very me. Ace of Wands. I mean, there's never been a shortage of passion between the two of you, it doesn't look like, but passion alone can't sustain something like this. Their actions is what killed this, looks like. With the World card, like, you've already accepted it. You've already moved on from this, closed the door as best you could. It is all about this person making the move that needs to happen. That's what's holding you back. I know that doesn't seem fair, but somehow that is how this is working out. But it doesn't seem fair. So because things are normally fair in the end, I mean, the scales get balanced, is why I feel like there's something you could do to push this person to make it happen or something. Maybe quit being so damn accepting of everything. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly how that works out. Hopefully this is making more sense to you than it does to me. I do think you're still headed on the right path. I think that you will, or you'll find your new path, I guess, right, from up there. So you're going to find the new path and go forward. That's a given. It's just a matter of getting numbskull here to go forward, to take their accountability and jump into their transformation. Really, I'm feeling like tripping them's the best way. No, anyways, that's what I have this week. I hope it made sense. All right, Libra. Love these oracle cards I just got. So I'm going to pick one and see if it gives us a theme for your reading. We'll just give it a whirl, okay? This one's for my Scorpios. Alrighty, Scorpio, let's see. Let's go in there. What you got? Okay. You end up with poised. So, just a second. Okay. Okay, because I'm still learning these, we're going to read just the essential meanings, which is being ready, bringing something to light, or being at your best. Confidence. So there you go. Let's see how that plays into your reading today. This one's for my Scorpios. Okay. Alrighty. For my Scorpio. Okay, you're opening with the Nine of Wands. Okay. Followed by the Two of Wands. And in the challenge position, I have the Five of Wands. So, lots of fire, lots of passion here. This is your backstory or your recent past. So, it would seem that not easily, but through great inner conflict, you had to make a decision here in the recent past. It was a decision that deeply affected you and left you feeling quite wounded, okay, by the whole process. So this is your backstory or your recent past. This is something we can't change. It's already happened. But how it has affected you is what we're reading on then going forward, okay? Okay. So, where are we currently then? Okay, I'll take it. Three of Pentacles. Okay. Eight of Pentacles is the card that'll be in the center. And the challenge is the Queen of Wands. So, Eight of Pentacles being in the center. Whatever this is that you had to make the decision about was something that you felt 100% committed to. And even though I feel like the decision you made in everybody's best interest, or so you thought, might have very well been to exit or walk away from whatever this was, you have been unable to change the fact that you're 100% committed to it. Okay? Now I'm wondering, was this a decision that was made by somebody else? So maybe you were left quite wounded by a decision that somebody else made, that they were very conflicted about making. Whichever way this plays out, it has not changed the fact that your commitment to whatever this is, it feels like some sort of a relationship. It has not faltered. You are still 100% committed to whatever this is. Okay. On one side, I have the Queen of Wands. The other is the Three of Pentacles. So we know that this is definitely a collaboration. Queen of Wands on the other side would tell me that you are somebody who is absolutely you're used to getting what you want. You see what you want, you go get it, period. And then there's this situation, right? Where you know exactly what you want, but you are struggling to get what it is you want out of this. However, I will not say that you are not going to get it, because I feel like you are. I feel like your intentions are already set, and it is to still achieve what you want here. So I don't think that you're giving up. I just think it's become quite the struggle to get there, possibly because there's an extra energy involved. Possibly. I don't know. So what else do we have going on? What's going on in the near future then? Near future. Okay. So, King of Swords, Six of Wands, Five of Cups is in the challenge position. So when we pulled Poised, it said something about confidence. So I believe your confidence within this dynamic has been shaken. Shaken, not stirred. No, I'm just kidding. It's been shaken, yeah. I don't know if there was a sense of competition here or something, and you felt as though you were not chosen, which definitely had the effect of taking, your confidence took a hit, right? But you haven't given up, so that is the kicker. With the King of Swords, you are definitely trying to act very strategically moving forward, okay? You have spent many, many hours trying to figure out the best way to make your dreams come true here, or whatever, to bring what you want to fruition. With the Six of Wands, there is definitely something about you possibly not being in the best light as far as public opinion goes. Makes me curious if you're not the third energy in this situation. Really doesn't make any difference, though, because the Eight of Pentacles being at the center tells me you are not going to back off. You're not. And you're going to get what you want. Period. But you have taken a hit to your confidence, and you are definitely trying to be strategic moving forward. Five of Cups being in the challenge position, there is a sense of loss here that is causing you to come from a place of lack that I don't know if it's really valid. You know what I'm saying? I understand it might be valid in this particular situation, but overall, you definitely are not coming from a place of lack. Okay, let's see. What do you got on the bottom? I've got the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, the Ten of Cups. Who all we got out here? That's the first one I got out here, really. It could be an air sign, but other than that, we have Cancers possibly out here. Ace of Wands, there's no shortage of passion about this situation, okay? There's also no shortage of resentment and anger that's building over this situation. That's the flip side of the coin there, right? The Chariot, things are definitely starting to move forward, and Ten of Cups. This is where you have made your mind up. Your emotional fulfillment lies, and you will not be deterred. I don't feel like. I feel like you are pretty. We are talking about Scorpio. Scorpio, Taurus, maybe Capricorn. I mean, your loyalty to a situation and commitment once you make up your mind is legendary. And that's what we have here. All right, what do we got on the bottom? The Hermit. So that's Virgo, possible Virgo energy here. The Tower, that's your energy, really. And the Eight of Cups. So I feel like you pulled your energy back right this second. You had no choice, right? It looks like a decision was made that did not favor you. So you had to pull your energy back to reassess the situation. You did go through a tower. At this point, I think you are trying to figure out how to execute a tower. Almost like you're putting dynamite under somebody else's foundation. That's all fine and dandy. Just be very mindful of your karma, okay? If you go through nefarious... I don't know, nefarious, if you have bad intention here, okay, and you are trying to make something else fall apart or make somebody else walk away, it has a tendency to backfire on you, you know what I mean? I mean, it looks like you're going to get what you want anyways. I think you're just trying to speed up the process. I'd be real cautious with that because you don't want this karma to come back and bite you, right? I do believe somebody did walk away from you, it looks like, but I don't think they went very far, okay? And I do believe that they will turn around. That is how this looks. You're playing the long game here, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Maybe this is just the confirmation you needed. You are definitely, like I said, you've made your mind up, and you will attain what it is you're after with this Queen of Wands. Okay, just be very mindful of your karma. You don't want the bad karma. Okay, that's what I see. All right. I'm going to start it with an oracle card because I really like this deck and I'm trying to learn it better. We'll see if it doesn't give us a theme for your reading. Okay. So this one's from a Sagittarius. What you got? Let me find a. Let's go right there. Who you get? Okay. A change in the wind. Okay. Because I'm learning them, we'll read the essential meanings. It's a sense that unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. Okay, so that is your theme here. Let's see what we get with the cards. Okay, so things seem to be changing. Oh, okay. For my Sagittariuses, what do we have? Okay, this one's for Sagittarius. Sagittarius. We'll take it from the top. You're opening with the Star card. So there you go. Could be dealing with an Aquarius. So there's Aquarius energy here. You definitely are dealing with the well of optimism. You know that things are going to get better no matter what direction they go in. Okay? After that, I've got the Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Nine of Cups in the challenge position. So you know things are going to get better. You have this feeling, there's a rumbling beneath your feet, right? You know things seem to be changing and you have very little control over it right this minute. So you're trying to stay aware or stay prepared. Okay, and Four of Pentacles, there's things here that you're trying to hang on to. There's just certain things that you are trying to hold close to you, things that you don't necessarily want to let go of, even if they're not necessarily still good for you. That's what we're looking at. Now, this is your backstory or your recent past. Nine of Cups is in the challenge position, so something that you consider to be your wish fulfillment is quite possibly not the best for you. Maybe it's something that is not in alignment with you, or it's something that is coming across as possibly being kind of toxic, right? So maybe you don't necessarily want things that are best for you right this second. Okay, maybe that has to be adjusted. But let's see. This is stuff that's already happened. It's just telling me where we're building from. Okay, so where are you at currently then? Where did we go currently? Currently, I have you with the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Center of your read is the Page of Cups. And in the challenge position is the King of Cups. Page of Pentacles is speaking of you trying to learn something new or build a new foundation for yourself. Page of Cups is normally some sort of a small offer, one that's not what you wanted, but it could grow to be that, or it's some sort of an apology that doesn't necessarily have a ton of backing to it, you know, not a ton of weight to it, the apology maybe. King of Cups is speaking, it's in the challenge position, so it's you having a very hard time keeping your emotions under control. Like, you're trying to keep control over your emotions and they seem to keep getting away from you or something like that in the current. Page of Cups at the center. So I get the feeling that you are trying to go in a new direction and build this new foundation for yourself, but it seems like all the offers that are coming within that dynamic seem to be much less than what you feel you're worth or what you have desired, right? Not just in love, but in general. Okay. So where are we going then? There's also a little bit of a sense with the two pages that possibly you are a bit naive or immature in this situation. Maybe you are not being as adult about it all as is needed. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. In the near future, we are looking at the Strength card, the High Priestess, and the Dream is in the challenge position. So whatever we had up here with the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment that was possibly not good for you, seems to still be an issue down here in the near future, sorry, with the Dream. This has more to do with possibly your idea of what is going to be the wish fulfillment or your dream in life is not necessarily in alignment with what your destiny is or what it is that you need to really head towards to find true fulfillment. The Strength card being here is telling me that you are doubting your inner strength towards a situation, meaning you don't feel like you're strong enough to make something happen. That's a crock of whatever. I mean, you have more than enough inner strength to be able to deal with something. Possibly it's going to take a lot more work than you wanted it to. High Priestess in the center. There is definitely something here about you trying to keep your Your true emotions, true feelings, or true destinations a secret. You're trying to keep things under wraps. You don't want to let people know too much about what you're doing. I don't know why. I mean, if you're surrounded by people that you don't trust, then I think you probably need to surround yourself with a different group of people. But for some reason, you are definitely trying to keep the direction you're headed in and how you feel about it all very secret. You don't want to let other people in on your plans. Okay, I have the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Wow. So, maybe it's because you think you've zeroed in on your whole Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, huh? You found some sort of a love situation that you are unwilling to let others know about, or that you are, I don't know, you're trying to keep it under wraps. But I feel like you're also trying to keep it under wraps with the person that you've actually found this with. Like you don't want to give them that much power in this situation to know that they are all of that. I don't know, that's a slippery slope of you trying to gain too much control in a dynamic. To truly find real, true happiness or true love, you're going to have to exhibit a sense of vulnerability. You're going to have to be vulnerable to find that. And it looks like that is the sticking point right here. Okay, 3 more. I've got the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Death card. Okay, so in order for you to push forward in this dynamic that it feels like it's coming in towards you very quickly here, this is something that when you see it, you know instantly this could be it. This could be all of it, right? 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. It's an opportunity in love that would take you all the way. I think you come into it as the King of Wands, meaning I think you literally stumble into whatever this is, totally unintentionally. It just shows up, right? Because you are the King of Wands. You are very adventuresome, very much so a good time, a lot of fun, but not necessarily looking to be restricted by other people or other situations. I think you quickly realize what you have come into contact with here in the near future, and you try to adjust. But in adjusting, you go too far the other direction, and suddenly you decide you need total control within this dynamic to ensure that it never walks away or never leaves, right? If you totally control it, then it will no longer be true love. It will be something you control. And there is a transformation therein that has to take place. But this is a little ways off in the near future, and I do believe that it will be just fine. It's just a learning process, right? Actually, if you want to look at this whole reading from up top and just kind of, look over it, it looks like it's really a great reading. This is all about you coming into something that will bring you all of the love and fulfillment that you are looking for. But it's not going to be necessarily a slam dunk as far as just easy peasy, there you go. This is something you have to work through. Okay, it's a growing process. However, it does look like one you will take on, and I feel like you will be quite successful in. So your future looks incredibly bright, and there's absolutely change coming, change in the wind. And that's a good thing. Okay, that is what I see for Sagittarius. Okay, we're going to open this up with an oracle card because I just love this deck and I'm trying to learn it. Hopefully it'll give us a theme for your reading. Let's see. Okay, this one's for my Capricorns. What do you got? Capricorn, we'll go over here. You got Unfinished Symphony. So I've already had this one once, and I know that this one is all about unfinished business, cycles that have not yet just come to fruition, or lessons that have not quite been learned yet, is what we're looking at here. So we'll see how that plays in for you. This one is going to be for my Capricorns. Capricorn. Okay. This is for my Capricorns. There you go. You're opening with the Ace of Cups. Wow. There you go. To the Two of Cups. My. And in the challenge position, we have Judgment. So, this is your backstory or your recent past. It looks like here in the recent past, you have encountered a definite divine union. There was absolutely an opportunity in love. The issue here, or the challenge, was judgment. So I feel as though you were being far too judgmental towards this person in this situation. Definitely doing the opposite of viewing it through rose-colored glasses, right? You're viewing it very negatively. No doubt because of things that have happened to you in the past, but this is, it looks like it was a solid opportunity for certain. Okay, so that's what we have in the past. So what do we have currently? Where is this at now? Currently, we are looking at the Page of Swords. So you are looking for a sense of clarity in this situation through very indirect means, though. Okay, in the center position, you get the Six of Cups. And in the challenge position, we have the Four of Cups. So, Six of Cups in the center makes me feel like you're very nostalgic. It does not always have to mean it's in a good way. Nostalgia, we think that's good, right? But there are some times where when you're looking backwards, you only remember the worst. Possibly that is where we're at now. Is that what it is? You just have a very negative overview of this dynamic, even though it looks like it's a really solid opportunity that's come towards you. But you keep judging it in a negative light because of things that have happened to you in the past. Okay, and the challenge position is the Four of Cups. So there is definitely a tendency to be dissatisfied or disappointed in situations, almost like you try to be disappointed in it before it has a chance to disappoint you. So you're trying to find the negatives before they have a chance to take you by surprise, is what I see. When in reality, I'm not going to tell you there's no negatives, but I would definitely say the positives here are outweighing the negatives. This is somebody who truly has been sent to you to try to help you heal. But if you keep pushing this away or trying to find the negatives, you will find them. You know what I'm saying? This is like a cautionary deal where you have to be more open to the fact that there is really an opportunity for love here. Okay, let's see what we got going forward. Okay, going forward. We are looking at the Eight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and in the challenge position is the Seven of Swords. Okay, so Eight of Swords, you are definitely overthinking this situation and you're doing it from a very negative outlook. Okay, you need to figure out how to rein that in. I know it's much easier said than done, but it's absolutely necessary here. You could sabotage this if you don't stop with your negativity here. And I absolutely understand this is not intentional. It's just something, it's like a knee-jerk reaction for you, but you're coming through incredibly cold and very defensive in this dynamic. And this person is here to help you heal that. That's what the unfinished business is here, is you need to heal this, what's broken on the inside of you right now. But they're only going to tolerate being pushed away so much, right? With the Seven of Swords in the challenge position, you absolutely are having a hard time trusting this. You just don't trust it. And it's because of how badly you've been hurt in the past. But that's why this person's here to help you heal that. So you have to at least try on your part, okay? Is what I see. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so what's on the bottom of the deck then? The Sun, the Two of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. You're carrying a very heavy burden. You're carrying a ton of pain from the past. But you can't let it shape your future like this. You really, I mean, you can, but it's not going to work out the way you want it to, I'm afraid. I know it's hard to be vulnerable and it's hard to let things go, but if you don't, this is going to go. And you need this to stay because this is what you want. The Sun, it's like it's illuminated to you that you have a choice to make. You can go forward or not. It just comes down to whether or not you're willing to give this person a real chance. Do you want to give love a real chance? Okay, because to find true love or true happiness, you have to allow a certain amount of vulnerability. You have to have a certain amount of trust. You have to give this a shot. And right this minute, you are standing at the door. And unless you open it and let this really come through, then it's going to have to turn around and go away. I feel like this is truly, it's all about whether or not you want to heal what's broken. That sounds easy. Oh, of course I want to heal it. No, not necessarily, because healing something means you have to leave yourself open to being hurt again. So are you willing to do that to find true love or not? Okay, the Hangman, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Moon. You're very concerned about things that you're afraid you're not seeing clearly. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is happening to you. It's happening for you, not to you, but it is a matter of you being willing to accept it. And with the Hangman right now, it is very stuck. Everything is very stagnant here because you have not yet decided to open the door. And that's okay. You can decide to not open the door. That is totally your choice, right? I mean, it's up to you. But understand that if you push this away enough times, it's going to go away. And just be certain that that is what you want, okay? Because I feel like deep down, that is not what you want. You want this to work out. But you got to allow it. You got to give it a chance then. Okay, that is what I see for Capricorn this time. Okay.